Welcome to this series of videos on fertility in cattle, brought to you by livestockdevelopment.co.uk. These videos are for animal health service providers or extension workers such as AI technicians, NGO and government extension workers, dairy inputs field staff, veterinary paraprofessionals and veterinary surgeons in the field. Their aim is to improve production through improved fertility. Welcome to this video. This is video 1, an introduction to the importance of fertility, the Oestrus cycle and heifer breeding. Livestock is a livelihood strategy for over 1 billion people worldwide. The most important reason animals are kept is for food and as a source of income from the sale of milk and meat. These videos are aimed at improving productivity, but acknowledge that animals are also kept for other reasons, which must be kept in mind. For their hides and wool, for draft power, for their manure, as a source of savings and economic resilience, and as social assets for marriages, prestige and social standing. These videos are aimed at cattle, but the underlying principles can be applied to other ruminants, whether sheep or goats, camels or water buffalo. Fertility is an important driver of production. The average time between one calf and the next for a group of cows is known as the calving interval. The accepted goal is for a farm to maintain a calving interval of 365 days. This means a cow would have to have a calf every year or 365 days, and this would work with the seasonal supply of grazing. The reason is that if a cow has a calf every 18 months rather than 12 months, over 3 years only 2 calves will be produced. Or in a herd, then for every 3 cows, only 2 calves are produced per year, rather than the 3 calves per year. In European breeds, for cows kept for milk production, then peak milk production occurs 40 to 60 days after calving. The milk yield then drops by about 10% a month, and they are dried off 1 to 2 months before the next calving. For indigenous breeds, they tend to produce less milk and peak later at 60 to 80 days after calving, and will dry off or produce low volumes of milk after 5 to 6 months. So cows that have a longer calving interval will spend a longer time as stale cows, either dry or producing lower milk yields than cows that calve again after a year. So the ideal cow or target produces a live calf without problems at the optimum time of year. She then returns to Oestrus, is served 45 to 65 days post-calving and conceives and calves within a year. Cows should not reduce their milk production on becoming pregnant. If they do, it is suggestive of a nutritional problem. Heifers that calve down at 24 months calve more easily, produce more milk and become pregnant more quickly than older heifers. But they can only be served when they reach their target weight. The International Livestock Research Institute, ILRI, has produced a growth chart for target weights for Friesian and Jersey heifers. The easiest way to measure weight if cattle scales are not available is to use a Weighband, which measures the girth of the animal and converts it to the weight of that animal. For indigenous breeds, a growth chart of target weights should be produced between the Friesian and the Jersey cow targets, or produce one for each breed or even an individual farm using the ADHB recommendations of percentage of mature weight or mature height. Calving well-grown heifers at 24 months and good fertility means more calves and more milk for producers. Our next video follows the important stages from before calving to being confirmed pregnant, looking at transition cow management, signs of oestrus, and the advantages of artificial insemination.